Okay, so the first thing to do is to activate the yeast. This is a mug and it's a bit under half full with hot water from the tap. That's as hot as it gets. A kettle will be too hot, it will destroy the yeast, but it still needs to be pretty hot. And then I just pour in the yeast. I use a whole sachet. That might be a bit much, but on the other hand, what else am I going to do with it? And then add to that just 1 teaspoon of sugar. And then stir that all up, like that, lumps down, and now you have there. We'll come back and see that in a bit. Like a head on it. Now, into my mixing bowl goes 150 grams of regular flour and 50 grams of semolina flour and a nice good pinch of salt. So give the flour a bit of a mix up and then add some water with yeast in it. There you go. Most of this will go in, but perhaps I don't do all of it straight away just in case it's too much. And then time to get your hands mucky. And then it begins to look like that. So now it's time to knead the dough. If it feels a bit too rigid, just a touch more water will do it well. So I'm going to need 2 hands to do this. So if it feels a bit too moist, don't worry, just keep working it and it will get there. It shouldn't be too dry, but you do want it to have some good structure. This needs a bit more work. And so now you can see that that's actually got a really nice texture to it. If it does feel a bit wet, you can always just add a little bit more flour, but I actually find it usually just working with the dough gets it to the right consistency. So now the dough's ready to prove. I just stick it in a little Tupperware actually. I think it can go in a bowl in the airing cupboard, but I don't have an airing cupboard. But I have found it's good to have it in something sealed so it kind of keeps the warmth in. I usually drop in a bit of olive oil, like that. And that's just to help the dough not stick to the side, and also a little bit of olive oil in there will be good for the flavour. So I give it a bit of get it all covered in the olive oil. There we go. That's in there. And now I stuck it on the windowsill in the sun to get nice and warm. And now you can see how much it's risen, so that's good to go. Right, oven on. Stones in there ready to go. The stones. Full power. So yeah, this is ready to roll out. Yeah. So that's all rolled out now. The rolling will flatten the pizza a bit, so I'll now leave it for a little bit just to rise and give it a bit more of a sort of fluffy texture, I guess. So the oven's up to heat. The stone is hot. So get the stone on the side and just a bit of a dusting with some semolina. This is obviously about 200 and something degrees now, so yeah, don't burn yourself. So I've just dropped the dough onto the stone and I'll leave it there for a little bit and it will start to cook. Meanwhile, I've got cheese to chop. So you can see that the dough is sort of bubbling a little bit there where it's nice and cooking through. And over here are my toppings, but first the sauce. On goes cheese. So there we go, the toppings are now on, and finally some oregano. In America, they call it oregano. And back in the oven it goes. 8 minutes usually. Let's have a look. That looks good, doesn't it? Would Sir have some pepper? Yes, he would. And that's how you make a pizza. Yummers. Done.